Hello and welcome. This is Elizabeth Clare and
Elton Brewington.
we are with Brightside Global Trade TV. We are in day 2 of our Women Business Empowerment Conference. This is a virtual conference that will be available to watch all through 2023 on our women page, which is brightsideglobaltrade.org/women. Today, we are empowering women. So if you are a woman owner, or you are one of the only executives or a few of the only executives in your corporation, if you're a business owner, we applaud you. This is Women History Month, and we want to welcome you. We have 25 speakers. We have 6 sessions. Each of the sessions will begin with a keynote and will follow with a fireside chat. And then we will open it up to the online audience. So if you're watching this live, please make a comment and we'll be working with you on all your comments. The more comments we get, the better it is. We do have prizes for everybody attending. We will work on the online audience. Right now, the only prize that we'll be giving you is 2 tickets to the conference in April. But the prizes for those that are here with us in the Zoom Brightside studio today will be a jewelry set, and then we'll have a swag bag, which is full of great foodie things. Then we have swag magazine. We'll also have a whole lot of little things, and Brenda is here and she's going to share with you the Tupperware chopper along with a special hair oil. So stay tuned. We'll bring Brenda to talk to you about those prizes and the things that she's been doing as well. But before further ado, I want to introduce you all to our keynote speaker for the session, and she is Lisa Baker. Let me see if I can stop sharing and go back to sharing Lisa. Yes, and Lisa is the founder of Ascentim, and she has led leadership positions at Fortune 500 companies like Synchrony Bank. Many of you probably have credit card statements, so you all know Synchrony Bank, and also with Microsoft. But what's very interesting about Lisa is she was one out of 16,000 to be a Black and a woman in that corporation. So that tells you that we have a lot of work to do about bringing women into leadership positions in corporate America. Lisa also helped with a $1 billion program with the eBay thing, and she'll tell you a little bit more about that. Lisa has worked with Brightside for a long time, but this year we are going to do a collaboration with Ascentim, and we're going to offer a program called G.R.O.W. Now, Elton and I both went into G.R.O.W. ourselves to see what the program was about. So G.R.O.W. is a 4-week intensive program that will actually help you with your finances. Now, as a business owner and as a job seeker, you know that when they fire you, there's no money. You're fired. There's no retirement, there's no pension, you will be lucky if they give you 2 weeks vacation. So if you're not saving, and as you might find that everything is so expensive now, I think it's like 30 to 40% an increase in everything from gas to food to whatever you buy. So we will see more of that. We will get more expensive. Things are not going to come down. Real estate is high, everything is high. And companies are gone wicked when it comes to collecting their money. So if you're late on your payment, the interest charges are going to be horrendous. There's going to be no mercy. There's going to be no personal stories and asking for help. It's going to get harder and harder. And if we thought, and I'm from India, and if we thought that the job space was getting crowded because jobs were outsourcing to Asia and to developing countries, guess what? Robots are coming. AI is coming. So even the little jobs that we had as human beings, we are going to be competing now with machines for those jobs. So it is going to get even more competitive. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, but we're working into a new world, and this is the beginning of a new world. So the first thing we thought for the women business empowerment was finances, because if you're not looking at your finances, if you're not paying attention, you will be lagging behind. So since we are empowering you with your business, we have worked hard with Lisa to help produce G.R.O.W, which she's produced, but she's offering it to Brightside. And we have selected all of you for the G.R.O.W program. So please listen to what Lisa says and sign up for it. And I will be calling on each of you also to get you to sign up. So we'll be working with each situation. But G.R.O.W is essential. And I will not say any more, but introducing you to our keynote, who's going to tell you how important G.R.O.W is.
Let me say one thing only. Her program is designed to help you become debt-free. You understand that? And she knows how to do it. Her program is designed to help you become debt-free. She knows how to do it. She did it with incredible capacity, and she'll tell you about that. And we're delighted to have her. Delighted to have you, Lisa. Lisa, thank you. Glad to have you.
I am honored to be here. Thank you both for having me here. I am always honored when people invite me to speak, because people don't have to invite you anywhere, right? And so it is a privilege and an honor, and I don't take it lightly. My name is Lisa L. Baker. I am the founder of Ascentim, which is an Inc. 2022 Best in Business coaching practice. And I am the creator of the G.R.O.W Finances program, as Elton and Elizabeth have shared. You know, my background, I come from very humble beginnings. My parents, I often describe them as having been the help, because that's something that people can relate to. If you read the book, The Help, or you saw the movie about the book, The Help, then you have a sense of who my parents were, because they moved from Atlanta, Georgia in the 50s. My mom, my dad, and at that time, 7 children, because I wasn't born yet, but they moved to St. Louis for better jobs. Those better jobs came in the form of working for a wealthy family. My dad was the chauffeur, the gardener, the handyman. My mom was the maid, the cook, the caretaker for the children. And I remember my mother telling me that when she first moved to St. Louis and was working for this wealthy family, that she made $8 a day plus car fare.
Whoa.
So that meant she got $8 a day plus some money so she could get the bus to get to work. Yeah. That's where I came from. I share that because I have come a long way since then, not in spite of, but because of my parents, who worked very hard, who wanted to have a better life for me, who envisioned more for me than what they had. And so I have worked in Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies in financial services, in technology. I worked for Microsoft, for Citigroup, for First Chicago Bank, and I ended my corporate career at Synchrony, where I was the senior vice president and general manager running the eBay and PayPal credit portfolios, which was a $2.5 billion book of business. And as Elizabeth alluded to, in that role, I was the highest ranked African-American female in the business out of over 16,000 employees, one of only 7 Black women who were at the executive level in the company. Why do I share that? I share that because to say that it doesn't matter where you start. You can create a life for yourself, envision more for yourself, and achieve amazing things. Now, my life hasn't all been rosy. Those were great accomplishments. I'm proud of them. But I would also share with you that despite being educated, despite being someone who worked in financial services, there was a time in my life when I had over $1.3 million in debt. And debt, as you know, that if you've ever been in that situation, or you've ever been in a situation where you weren't quite sure how you were going to make ends meet, you know that that's very stressful, that to be worried about how you're going to provide for yourself or take care of your children or do the just basic things that you need. But I was determined to get out of that situation, and I did. And I can share with you that I went from having over $1 million in debt to retiring from corporate America at just 54 years old and being debt free, with the exception of my mortgage. So I say that anything is possible. I firmly believe that anyone can be wealthy. You just have to know how and understand money and financial principles, but even more importantly, understand how to make them work for you. And so that's why I created G.R.O.W Finances, because 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And you might say, well, yeah, okay, Lisa, but that's probably because they're not making enough money. Well, I will tell you that that's not true, because 51% of people who earn six-figure salaries live paycheck to paycheck, and I was one of them. So it's not about how much you make, really. There is a lot more to it than that. And so if you allow me, I'm going to share my screen with you and just tell you about G.R.O.W Finances, what it is, why it is, and then we'll discuss it. Let me just make sure that I am sharing my screen with sound, because I have a couple videos that I will share also. Okay, so G.R.O.W Finances is a 4-week intensive program that is really designed to jumpstart your journey to financial freedom. So let me share this video with you that will explain what those 4 weeks.
Our 4-week G.R.O.W Finances course will help you jumpstart your journey to financial freedom. In week 1, we'll show you how to get out of debt. We'll give you practical tips to help you eliminate debt quickly. In week 2, our focus is on helping you to retain more of your income, because it's not how much you make, but how much you keep that matters. As you begin to keep more of the money you make, your assets will grow. That's why week 3 is all about helping you organize and protect the assets that you're creating so that you can build wealth. Finally, in week 4, we'll tell you what it really means to walk in wealth and show you how to create the legacy that will secure your financial future.
All right. So the journey to financial freedom really begins in your mind. Like most things, what you believe about a thing, what your values are about it, will shape your actions, the decisions that you make. And so what it means to grow, it is really about changing your mindset and understanding basic money principles so that you can apply those to the financial decisions that you make so that you can get the results that you desire. That's how you're going to get out of debt. Debt is detrimental to your building of wealth. It's how you're going to learn to hold on to more of the money that you make. Can't you think about it? We all know someone who maybe won the lottery. We either know them or we read about it, or someone who is making millions of dollars and yet they're broke or bankrupt, because it's not how much you make. It is how much you're able to keep of what you make. Mm-hmm. And it's debt that is robbing us of the ability to hold on to more of what we're making, or poor financial decisions. And then as you begin to keep more, you're going to grow your assets and start to build things that are of value, but you need to learn how to protect those assets so that you can keep them. That's what allows you to live now the way you want to and leave a legacy for the future. And finally, in week 4, when we talk about wealth, wealth is more than just money. Money is only a component of it. It allows you to have the unit that you can exchange for the things that you want and need. But true wealth is beyond money. And we talk about what that means and the process of getting there. So, as I said, it starts with your mind. So before we even get into the 4 weeks of the course, there is pre-work, and we start with Crown's Money Life Indicator. This is how we begin to assess your beliefs and your behaviors around money, because what you believe will shape the behaviors and the actions that you take. So there are 9 areas of beliefs and behaviors that get assessed in the pre-work. that gives you a report out that tells you where you score from 0 to 100, so that you know whether you're in financial danger or whether you're in great shape based on what you believe, and more importantly, how you're behaving as it relates to money. I also have written an ebook that is called Financial Therapy, Change Your Beliefs and Change Your Life. That is also a component of pre-work for those who are interested in that. And it comes with a worksheet that allows you to really systematically go through and understand what it is that you're believing about money and how that's affecting the results that you have with money. And so you can see there are a number of key topics in there about what limiting beliefs are, how they affect you, what negative beliefs are, and what positive money beliefs are that you have, and then how you change and shift what you're believing. And a worksheet that goes along with that so that you can work through the process of shifting your mindset and creating very positive money beliefs and behaviors. If that sounds at all of interest to you and you'd like to have a free copy of my financial therapy ebook and the worksheet, then I'm going to ask you to do one simple thing. And that is simply to send me an email. Send an email to lbaker@ascentim.com. Let the subject of your email be ebook. If you do that, then I will respond to your email with a coupon code that you can use and the link to go and get a free copy of the ebook and the worksheet. Fair enough? Okay, so once you start to shift your mindset, then we get into the coursework and there are results that you can absolutely expect. And it's easy to hear it from me, but I am biased. So I thought I would allow one of the participants of G.R.O.W Finances to share her experience, just a bit of it with you.
Hi, I am Ty Young, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I am telling you about the G.R.O.W Finances 4-week course that I took in September of 2022. The course was amazing. The course actually educated me on a lot of financial things that I wasn't quite familiar with. So if you want to be financially free, if you want to get into the space of being financially educated, spending your money more wisely so you'll have more money in the bank and so that you can have a little bit more freedom, I really suggest that you get on board with Lisa Baker's Ascentim's G.R.O.W Finances course.
So have you ever seen an advertisement for something on TV or in print? And in fine print under the advertisement, after they tell you all these wonderful things, it'll say, results not typical. Have you seen that? I have. Well, what I want to tell you is that these results that you hear about and that I'm sharing with you, they absolutely are typical. It's not just Ty who had those results. Marlena Cole had a very similar result. And she said that from the very first class, the course sparked so much possibility for her. And she said one little 4-week course changed her life. Marlena went through the program earlier this year, and just by following the principles that we talked about, she was able in that week 2, where we talk about keeping more of the money you make, she was able to find over $800 a month that she was paying that she was not even aware of in subscriptions and other things because she had not really been paying attention to her finances. So she was very pleased with that and recently sent me a text about just how she is continuing to improve. Then there is Tangela, who was a single mom that came into the program, had quite a bit of debt and was struggling really with how to balance trying to get out of debt and save and to be able to provide for her children. And she sent me an email and you can read here what she says. She says, I am happy to report that she is out of debt, that she is debt-free. In fact, she said she was doing a happy dance. And not only was she able to get out of debt, but she was also able to save some money in the process. So you can do both. And then there's Allison, who talked about just the practicality of the information that's shared, that's allowing her to understand how she can build wealth and to sustain it over time. So these are their results, but they absolutely are typical of people who go through the course. And I am very proud of that.
Hi, I am Ty Young, and I'm an entrepreneur, and
Sure about that.
I found that when I started being very strategic and specific about where my money was going, I found that I didn't overspend. I found that I was able to add more to my savings account. And that is also how I was able to really perfect my snowball method by really paying off more of my debt on my credit cards quicker than I originally planned for, because I was assigning dollars and I was finding that I had money freed up. So I can go on and on about what the Grow Finances course by Ascentim did for me, but you'll have to find out for yourself. If your mind is really made up, if you truly want to get financial free and you believe that it's your season and it's your time, I advise you to sign up for the Grow Finances course, because it is a life changer, especially when your mind is made up.
A life changer, especially when your mind is made up. And that is the key. It starts with your mindset. How many of us are not yet willing or ready to shift our mindset and to put ourselves in the position to grow? But when you're ready, you absolutely can do that, so that you can live the way you want to live now, so that you can give and be generous if that's part of your values and what you want to do, so that you can leave a legacy for those who you love and are concerned about. So if you want to learn more about Grow Finances and what the program entails, if you want to sign up, or maybe you know someone else that you think needs to go through the course that would benefit from it, then visit ascentim.teachable.com. You'll have all the information that you need about the program, how it works, how to register, etc. It is all there available on the site. But I just wanted to share a little bit about it with you today. And Elton and Elizabeth can certainly speak to it from their perspective. They went through it just a couple of months ago. Lastly, I want to say, let's connect. Whether you're interested in Grow Finance or not, I love making new connections. And so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am Lisa L. Baker on LinkedIn. You can follow Ascentim. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Ascentim. And I'm also on Twitter at Here You Grow. And I love making new connections. So please do reach out. It's not stalking. It is okay. I'm giving you the invitation to connect. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and just ask, actually, I want to just ask this question, if anyone wouldn't mind sharing, or certainly you can put it in the chat. And that is this: what's one word that you would use to describe how you currently feel about your financial future? How are you feeling about your financial future?
Can I answer?
Yes.
You can answer, absolutely.
I think for me now, my financial future is hopeful. I'm an empty nester. So the youngest one is 21, the oldest is 32. So I have, part of the move is downsizing, from moving from the city of Houston to a more smaller rural town. So the quality of life, the quality of living, and the cost of living is what's at the forefront of my mind. So so my financial future, where it revolved around, my ex-husband and I revolved around being in the Army and taking care of the kids in a safe neighborhood, and all of those things. The foundation has been laid for them. So now we're two separate empty nesters, but I'm like, yeah, it's time to like travel by yourself, find a house where you don't have to worry about a school district. I'm not worried about a school district, so I can live where I want to live. So I think not the I don't want to say the constraints of having kids and providing a good life for them. That's not what I'm saying, but being able to not have that, just kind of, I can
Yeah.
live there and I can go there and live. That's
That's
it's
awesome.
hopeful for me now.
Hopeful. And Joyce said that her one word is optimistic. These are great words. That means you are looking forward to the future and feeling good about it. And I'm so excited to hear that, because oftentimes I talk to people who are concerned or worried, especially as they get older and start approaching retirement, and wondering whether or not they will be able to retire and when they want to, and be able to live comfortably and enjoy. So I'm happy, really am, to hear optimism and hope as it relates to your financial futures. That is what I want to share today. I will also ask if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about Grow Finances, about me, about my coaching practice. Any questions? Okay. All right. Since there are no questions, Elizabeth, I will turn it back over to you. Thank you all so much for your time and attention today.
If you could do one more favor and put in the chat if you want to do the GROW program in April, which is the 4-week intensive program. So if Lisa, you could just put the link for Teachable Ascentim along with your email, so that those who want to take advantage of the free offer, you can do that too. And I will be calling on each of you to talk to you about how GROW could help you and sign you up for Teachable, because this is going to be a Brightside collaboration. Y'all, don't make me look bad. I need everybody to sign into the GROW program. Now, what was it for Elton and me? I got a credit card. I have credit cards, but I got a big one because of the GROW program. That's going to help us, because we are opening an office in Chapel Hill and one in Goldsboro. So we are moving to getting brick and mortar. And so we needed a lot of help this month, because we were growing. And as you know, when you open a business, you've got to make payments, and people don't want to delay those payments. And we had to get new equipment, and we had to get ready for this conference. And I called all my sponsors, and everybody jumped in to help. And so we were able to secure our second office. So I want to thank you all. And I have Jackie Longwell from BritFix. She's an importer of British products, and she's a sponsor today. Lisa Baker is a sponsor as well. And we have Brenda, who is a sponsor. And if I missed anyone, thank you, sponsors. My next speaker is running to catch a flight, so I have to bring her on right away. And I'm very, very excited about this, because I've been talking about the future forever, but we have a real futuristic person today. And she's one of the most powerful women you could ever meet. So I want you to pay attention and get her book. So let me quickly read about, but first of all, thank you, Lisa. That was a wonderful presentation.
We'll come back in with the
I
chat.
love the videos, but I'm chasing a flight. So I'm going to bring Joyce in, and we'll continue with Lisa a little more as well. So Joyce is a best-selling business author. She pronounces her name as Joya. She is a world-class speaker, professional speaker, a management consulting, and a celebrity futuristic. She regularly informs and inspires audiences to creatively recruit, engage, and retain their stakeholders. She's a TEDx speaker. Joyce has presented to audience in 47 of the United States, and that's big, 47, in 32 countries, and on 7 continents, and on 7 seas for clients, including SAP, BP, Viking Cruises, Procter & Gamble, Honda. Her new show, she has a podcast, so if any of you want to be on the show, please make sure you connect with her. Her new show, it's Your Future with Joyce Goya, and
Sure,
it's
yeah.
now on Future Television Channel. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in such esteemed company. And many of you need to understand that our future is very important. And so you need to pay more and more attention to what's going on with the world to keep up. And you can't sit down and just sit on your sofa and watch TV and say, I'll just let it happen. It's no, this is going to slap you into shape. So over to you, Joyce.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth. You know, what you have created is unique because you bring women together, you bring people together, and you give them an opportunity to support you, but also to share their knowledge and what works with other men and women. And that's so valuable. And this is definitely, Brightside is definitely your legacy. So congratulations to you and to Elton for
Thank
that.
you.
And now you're expanding, you're going to be in Goldsboro as well as somewhere else.
Yes.
And that's exciting as well. In fact, I think I'm flying through RDU
Okay. So you'll be
in
close.
Okay.
January, and so maybe we'll have an opportunity to see each other.
Okay. Wonderful. Look forward to it. Look forward to it.
When I think about what I could say today that would be the most valuable to people, I think that it is the premise of the reason that I wrote this book, Experience Rules. And you can see from the point of view of the climate that this is a hardcover, and I published it in a casement. I wanted to get the book out to you, Elizabeth, as quickly as possible, and I just got the hardcovers. So I didn't have an opportunity to wait for the hardcover to arrive. It is the quality and the depth of our relationships that really define our success as individuals and as organizations. And when you understand that, it will lead you to why I wrote this book. And I wrote this book because what I discovered was that experiences that we deliver to the different groups of people who are important to us define their level of engagement. And that level of engagement defines and informs the degree to which they are invested in our success. And the more that people are invested in our success, the better we're going to do. Now, I've been in business actually for many, many, many decades. I founded my first business in high school. It was called Jack and Jill Parties for Children. And I charged mommies and daddies $15 to have a storybook character dressed, of course, in costume, show up, tell their story, cut the cake, and leave. And in those days, if you could earn $5, as one of our people shared with us earlier, if you could earn $5 and you were a high schooler, boy, that was really something. I, of course, had 10, got 10. So I started being an entrepreneur early. But it was then that I realized that if I could make sure that not only my cadre of peers who were going to the parties and being the characters, but also the moms, usually moms, who called me to arrange the parties, if I could make sure that they felt taken care of, that my business was going to in Lisa's word, grow. And that's exactly what happened. And it was a thriving business by the time I graduated from high school and went away to college. And sadly, there was nobody else who was willing to take it over, buy it from me. And that was kind of the end of Jack and Jill Parties for Children. But it taught me some very valuable lessons. And I carried those lessons into my life today. And what I realized, and the reason that I wrote this book, and by the way, I started out in the employment agency field because it was the only job that I could get when I graduated from college in Denver, Colorado, many, many, many years ago, because they weren't hiring women at that time to do management training. They weren't hiring women into any kind of jobs that had growth potential. The first question that people asked was, can you type, and do you know how to run a 10-key adding machine? Do you take shorthand? Because those were the jobs that were available to women at that time. And I ended up, by great fortune, thank you, universe, thank you, God, calling somebody I should never have called on a management training job. And I ended up talking to a young man who was going to start his own employment agency. And he was impressed with me. And that's how I started my career, because otherwise there were no jobs for 20-year-old college graduates in Denver, Colorado back then. It was a very tough situation. But again, everything that happens to us builds character, and it brings us to who we are today. And what I discovered, and this is why I wrote the book, was that it was not only employees and customers whose allegiance, whose loyalty, whose ideas, whose partnership could help our businesses grow, but it was in fact all of the different stakeholder groups. It's the families of customers and the families of employees. It's the suppliers and vendors. It's the shareholders. It's all of those different groups of people who can have a positive effect on your bottom line. And I know that we have women entrepreneurs here today and listening, and I know that you will agree with me on that. But being a futurist, I couldn't stop there. And by the way, in that book, there's information about how hundreds of companies are driving profit by partnering with different stakeholder groups. But it's also that the technologies are important. AR, VR, AI, right, Elizabeth? If you can find a way to incorporate gamification, simulation, use AI. We now have Chat GPT. When I wrote this book, we did not have Chat GPT. So you can imagine the changes. I can't wait to write the enriched version of this book. In fact, when I first got my first case of books, I said, it's time to start writing again, because so much has changed. And just to end, this book forecasts the rise of someone new in the C-suite, someone new in the ozone, as we call it. And that is the Chief Experience Officer. But unlike the Chief Experience Officers at the IT companies and hospitals and health systems, my Chief Experience Officer will coordinate all of the messaging, branding, and advertising for all of the different stakeholder groups, not just the employees and customers. And so in that way, I believe small organizations, large organizations can optimize their bottom line profit if they just understand, thank you, Elizabeth, that experience rules.
Wonderful. Make sure that we have your website in the chat, and safe travels. She had to change her flight to go to California and to accommodate us. So we're very appreciative of your time. And we were just got her before she caught her flight. So safe travels, and we'll be talking to you as well.
Yeah.
So
One comment as
Yes.
she's leaving, she makes a very an incredible point about relationships. You know, everyone on this call, it's about relationships, your relationship with each other here. And even as it comes to Lisa's comments about relationships, gathering, cultivating sustainable, ironclad relationships. I think that's something that we maybe haven't paid so much attention to, but if you create an ironclad forum of relationships with people, other businesses, and vendors and people that you're working with, because understand that your word counts. Your word counts, and when you give your word, it's like cash in the bank. It's like, you know, if I don't have money, but I give my word, then you can bank on it. You can bank on it. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure what I say counts. And so each one of you, if that's not something that you've done before, perhaps that's something that you need to ensure that you do. Because, I mean, people count on you. And if they don't, they should.
yeah.
You know, and that's what you need to make sure you put emphasis on. Let's just put it this way. You know, if your word is more valuable than cash in the bank, I don't know how possible that is. If you could speak on that for a little bit, either one of you,
I have-
maybe there's no time.
Time. We'll come
Well,
back, but we'll come
I-
back. We'll bring that to the chat site discussion. But
Sure,
before
one quick
I-
more thing,
Yes.
and that is, and I just wrote about nail painting robots. I just published that yesterday.
Oh, good.
And-
I just got a
and-
whole new set of nails that came in the mail. So this is good. We'll talk
And
about it when we do the interview.
Certainly, and
Thank you, Lisa and Joyce. Lisa was the sponsor for this segment, and we are encouraging everybody to join G.R.O.W. We'll be talking about it all day today, but I want to start my next panel. But before that, does anyone have to leave? Because I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak, so that if I've missed you, I don't want you to leave and not speak. So Elizabeth, you are going to be on at, I believe 2 to 3, but because we're doing authors at 2 to 3. But if you want
thank
to,
you.
yeah, but anyone is leaving, and I don't want to miss anyone from speaking.
Okay, I'll come back between 2 to 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
And, but
okay,
if you,
thank you.
yes, but if you want to quickly tell us about your book, we've got a few minutes, and then since you've been on since the morning, and then you will come back at 2 to 3. Yes.
Sure.
Please stay as long as you can. I don't want to chase you away. Yes.
My novel is called The Silent Count. It's an award-winning climate change thriller. But, you know, hearing these conversations about finances, the main character is deeply in debt, and she's a young woman. She's got student loan debt up the, you know, out of her ears, and something that at one time in my life, perhaps I could relate to. And I think, you know, every decision is based on her finances. And I think a lot of people can understand that. You know, you delay so many things in your life, and you choose different jobs and make decisions based on your finances. So I think my novel, it's very contemporary in a lot of ways, because it does look at climate change. It looks at it from a very realistic perspective. There's a lot of idealistic talk about, well, we just all need to stop driving, and we all need to stop using fossil fuels, but we have to look at reality too. So I think my novel does that. It's also a little bit of science fiction. We talked about the future. It is set slightly in the future when things get worse. So it's meant to keep you up at night and turning pages. So it's also meant to entertain. So yeah, I
can't wait to read the book, and she's fascinating too. I've read her bio. She's a nuclear scientist and lots of credentials. So come back, everyone, at 2 o'clock
Yes.
to listen to her. But thank you for giving us that plug in. So is there
Yeah.
anyone else that I'm missing who has to run away? And I want to make sure you get a chance to speak before we bring in the next panel.
Me
Okay.
right here. I have
Okay.
other people in my office, so I cannot really speak.
No. Okay. But you're just listening. Chiquita is a sponsor. Thank you, Chiquita, for
No
sponsoring.
problem.
And Chiquita can help you with pain management. She does CBD and hemp. So make sure we put you in the chat, okay, Chiquita, and we'll bring you when you can speak. Thank you. Okay.
I appreciate you guys so much. Great. Thank you for the opportunity.
We
And
appreciate
everyone can follow me on Instagram. I put everything in the chat.
Fabulous. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so
Of course.
much.
Thanks.
Anyone else has to run away before we bring in the next panel? Okay, so we're doing good on time. So I will stop recording. So everybody watching us on Facebook, Instagram, we'll be doing a lot of lives this month, and we want you to write us a comment. So if you've liked any of the speakers, you want to join any of the programs, please write us a comment. And just for writing us a comment, we will give you 2 tickets and to our next show, which is going to be a tech conference on artificial intelligence, the climate, emerging technologies, and a whole lot of new things to help you get skilled for your business and for your job. Remember, we have to get on board with technology, so join us in April. Now, we have 10,000 views on YouTube, so please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're very low on subscriptions, and so I keep getting reminders from YouTube, so I need to grow my YouTube channel. I don't have a podcast as yet. We're a YouTube channel, but we will be getting a podcast starting in April. So all these sessions will also be available on everywhere that you get Spotify and everything. So please make sure that you subscribe. I will make sure I put it in the chat. I need one more favor. If anyone is shopping on Amazon, I need 3 sales, even if you buy a thing for $1 or whatever, because Amazon will cut me out from being an affiliate, and I want to put all your books in my store. So please go on, I'll put it in the chat. It's Brightside Global Trade /shop, and it'll take you to some products. You may not want them, but you can shop for anything you want on Amazon, and I still get the credit. So I just need everyone to go shopping on Amazon to help me out so that I don't lose my affiliate account. But other than that, I'm going to stop recording. So if you're watching us on any channel, write us a comment and we'll send you 2 tickets. And I'm wrapping up Lisa L. Baker, the founder of Ascentim, and she is partnering with Brightside to offer her very prestigious G.R.O.W program, which will help you with your finances and help you with your business, because you got to get that personal credit to a very high number in order for you to get business credit. So many people are confused, but you can't even get business credit if your personal credit is not in order. So we're going to start you off with personal credit, and then maybe I'll bring Lisa later in the year and talk about business credit. So Elton and I were very fortunate because we were in the program. We were able to establish our personal credit and our business credit. So Lisa has been part of the journey, and so we've done them both now, and we want you to get involved so you can get the benefit. I also do grant writing, so I'll make sure that all the new business grants that are available that you will be able to get on board with to enroll and to sign up. So we'll give you added perks, also a resource list of how to start your first credit card if some of you don't have one, or how to reestablish relationships with credit card companies that you had bad relationships with. You can talk to them again and reopen your accounts. I have done it, and you can do it too. So we want you to get started on that. So if you're struggling with that journey, give me a call, give Lisa a call. We're enrolling for April. Ascentim.teachable is the website, ascentim.teachable. Meanwhile, I'm ending session 1. Elton, you want to say something?
Well, thank you. No, session 1 was so powerful. I mean, there's so many things to consider, so many things that I need you to pay light to, but we're talking about moving forward. forward, forward in a powerful way, forward, forward. It's gonna be a powerful year. And so many of you who are on today, I need you to keep track of what's taking place right now, because by the end of the year, I need you to keep track of where you were and where you are. So help us to do that and help us to consider what that all recommends. Also, Claire meant to say, I need you to think while you're on the programming that if you have access to work or jobs, opportunities that you can share with our contributors today, keep track of that. We'll tally those at the end of today's session so that we can help some of our listeners to take advantage of them. You all are so powerful. You all are so powerful. Last night we did the first session on celebration or celebrate each other, and so this is so great. So that's all I have to say.
But thank you for joining us.